Hello, welcome everybody to the Connect Show. I'm one of your hosts today, one of many. My name is Tracy. Today we're diving into the extraordinary world of small business owners. They are the unsung heroes of our economy, and I can't wait to share their incredible stories with you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Charlene Osterling, the creative mind, author, and artist behind A Stupid Good World. And I want you to think about the last time you strolled through your neighborhood enjoying the quaint cafes and charming boutiques, all the unique mom and pop stores. Behind every one of those storefronts is a small business owner pouring their heart and soul into their dream. I want to introduce on the booster seat today, Kim. Kim's 5 foot. She has to be on the booster seat.
I heard he got called out for being short. I love it. Hi, everybody. I'm Kim Knock, and I'm, of course, excited to be here every week. I am the owner of Opportunities Knocking, and I do social media management, digital design, some event planning, and all kinds of great fun stuff. My biggest venture right now is a food truck website. We also have Ben back on the show today. Ben, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hey, everybody. Ben Palmer here. I work for Direct Drive Logistics, a local company in Milwaukee, moving products for manufacturing, industrial companies. And then I've also, for the last 10 years, had a company, Think Local, which is committed to sharing the people behind our locally owned and operated businesses. So excited to meet some great entrepreneurs today and to be with everyone on the set.
Yeah, we've got a great crew here today.
We're 4
I know.
deep.
Yeah, I love it. We love it. So on today's show and every show, we interview small business owners. These remarkable individuals are more than entrepreneurs. They are risk takers, dreamers, and community builders. They wake up before the dawn, brew the coffee, roll up their sleeves, and set out to make a difference.
Their stories are not only inspiring, but way beyond measure of what any of us can even fathom, especially people who don't own small businesses who work for other people. From humble beginnings in their garages, couch surfing in their living rooms, they're the thriving enterprises. Small business owners are true champions of resilience.
Yeah. Before we move on to today's show, we're going to give you a little bit of background about the show. The Connect Show with John and Tracy was dreamt up in the summer of 2021. John reached out to Tracy and said, I have an idea for a show. After some collaboration, the first show aired that September. Fast forward to today, we have many great people who are really bringing this show to life, and we can't thank them enough. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hosts, 5 with the producer. So I love it.
The guests and the hosts on the show are all volunteers. If you'd like to be a guest or a guest host on the show, the process is pretty simple. We will teach you all the steps, and the benefits include practicing to get in front of a camera, practicing interview skills, and the best of all, getting the word out about your business. Please contact Tracy to get your spot on the show. And we also want to send our prayers. Sandra Heff's mom, Sandra's usually here doing makeup, and her mom's been in the hospital, not doing well, and we just want to send prayers for her. It's sad to have her here. It's sad for the situation. We just pray. She's such a strong part of the Connect Show. We just want to mention that. So
Thanks, Ben. And while the Connect Show is created by volunteers, we are looking for your support to keep the show growing. Sponsorship on the Connect Show is a great way to get your business seen and support your peers. It can be a commercial, plugs in our newsletters, social media, ads on our website. If you're interested in being a sponsor, please contact Don or Tracy at info@theconnectshow.com.
We have to thank our hosting sponsor, Expansive Workspace, where we broadcast the Connect Show out of Studio A5 weekly every Tuesday at 10 a.m. Expansive is a great place to work, a great community to be a part of. And additional regular sponsors include MKE Video, Small Business Milwaukee, Opportunities Knocking, Friday Fish Fry Guide, Stupid Good Food, Think Local, Mind Body Abundance, Idea Share Coaching, and many more.
Yeah, we have a lot of sponsors already.
We really need to give special thanks to the MKE Video, aka our very own John Taylor, who creates the show with all the video work and editing that goes behind the scenes. John also has a new community called Mind Body Abundance that you can see more about at mindbodyabundance.mn.co.
Slide, skip.
As always, we are very thankful that you come to watch the Connect Show. If you have a topic that we should be discussing, please email us at ideas@theconnectshow.com.
Today, we're so excited to welcome two guests, Keith Rios and Kristal Young, marketing, advertising, and websites. That's what every small business owner needs, profitable and unique marketing strategies and their own shiny website.
The Connect Show is better when it's interactive, so please add your comments in the chat. So if you're on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, just put your comments in the chat. Kim's going to see them, John's going to see them, and we will address your comments and put you up on video.
Love it.
Our thanks to last week's guests, Amanda Williams and Scott Graham, Fixed Price Business website and marketing, and finding your true passion and calling in life. That is a show worth watching again. I have to go just to get all the book names, by the way.
Yeah.
So yes, and I appreciate for not having to say that word.
And it's that time for the quote of the day. So here is the quote from Alex Ellie. It is, sometimes we have to stop being scared and just go for it. Either it works or it won't. That is life. What are
That's all you need.
I think that's like an entrepreneur's mantra. Like entrepreneurs generally are the ones that are just going to go for it. A lot of times they're scared, but just going for being an entrepreneur is really just going for it. Just starting out.
I love how that ends. That is life, and
That is life.
it either works or it won't.
doesn't.
But you have to go and learn and keep moving forward, and do not let fear stand in the way. Just go for it, and that's I love it.
Absolutely. I feel like Charlene is really word warring this one. Like she
She's-
is pondering this quote deep. I see the wheels
the
spinning.
things
Like I
going in
totally
I knew if you only knew.
I see the wheels spinning.
It's funny too, because as I was reading over the script and did this video about the evolution of change this week, it wasn't pinpointing one business like I did last week. It was all about the evolution of change into that first bursting idea that comes through you to then pausing and being scared that it won't work. So it's so fun to look at all the product on the market and to actually be an inventor myself and go through this whole thing that I went through. This video shows the evolution of different products that somebody thought, ooh, here's a solution to something we probably didn't need, but something that they might have had issues with, or something that they saw someone struggling with.
Yeah.
So the video is going to show you just how many different products that do the same thing in a different way are on the market. And the evolution of change comes when somebody forgoes fear and they're like, oh, let's put it out
Let's
there.
try this.
Try it.
Yeah.
Let's try it.
Okay,
That's
well,
excellent.
let's see the video.
Let's check it out. Let's check it out.
Oh, we don't have a video.
Oh boy.
So what I did was went out into the marketplace and I found the progression. So I went into TJ Maxx because there's so many cool things there, but there's so many of the same thing.
I love TJ Maxx.
Doing different things. So the first one I found was an ice cube tray, and there was no normal first turn ice cube tray. It was like, here's a
Here's
ball.
the silicone.
Here's a silicone. Here's one covered. Here's one
Yeah.
for traveling. Here's one. And then the number of, like, there was a glass. And then I see a plastic pitcher that you can infuse with fruit. And then I see a mug. And then, oh, here's a traveling mug with a lid for hot and cold things. And then there's, oh, here's something.
Then there's
you
the
don't-
big ice ball things that I love.
Yeah.
And the
or,
big ice squares.
there's different shapes, different. So that whole evolution, my invention was
Of ice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A jump rope teaching tool
Mm-hmm.
that's now perfecting posture, taking the fear out of jumping rope, doing so many more things that all I had to do was just trust and jump, and sometimes go down these detours that are just, again, if you take the emotion out, which is
Fear.
what the segment of the word war is going to be like. Emotions are indicators, not decision makers. So what we have to do is we have to allow ourselves to feel, have the genius, brilliant idea and go with it. Have the fortitude to just say, this could change my life, how many more people's lives will it change?
Mm-hmm.
So
And nothing starts out perfect.
right.
So you
You'll
have to be
keep
like, here's
changing
round
it.
1, here's round 2, here's round 3.
oh,
But
I mean,
you're not going to get something in a smooth state until you work through a couple rounds of revision.
A couple.
Yeah.
I mean, don't be worried. It's going to take more than
And
a couple. though.
it's so funny because we're starting out with the art of freezing water.
Yeah.
Literally, something as simple as freezing water, but it's so crazy what it's turned into. So.
Mhm.
you know what's even crazier is there's proven science on talking to your water. Like,
Shit.
no, being serious. When you like talking to your plants,
Yeah.
and you can look this up. I'm really serious when I say there's
Oh,
many
boy.
studies on the vibration of water.
Yeah.
Mm.
And when you put an affirmation on your cup and you talk to that and you speak it out loud, we all know that's how you manifest things. But water is proven to have a lower vibration when you're mean to it,
Oh,
Mm.
when you don't speak to it, or when you're mean
This
to
is
it.
a totally another show topic. Like the
Yeah.
vibration of
Wow.
water.
It's a
and
good thing that I talk
someone
to my
Google
water
that and
very
give me
nicely.
a link in the chat. I want to see it. Someone give me a link in the chat. I don't care if it's on a replay. I want to see it so I don't forget it.
Yeah, so honor your evolution of change, trust yourself more.
Go for it.
Yeah,
Go for it.
Go for it.
that's awesome.
Go for it.
Yeah, well, hopefully we'll get to see the video maybe next week. That'll be good.
Sure.
Okay, so let's move on to our question of the day. What do you like to do for fun to get away from your business so you can be recharged to go all in for your business the next day? Charlene talks to water.
I talk to water all the time. I talk to inanimate objects. I talk to myself. That's a required.
I do talk to myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
I do too. And I think I answer myself, and I don't care if people think that's crazy. Well, what are you talking to yourself for if you're not going to give yourself an answer, right?
Okay, so besides talking to ourselves, what do we like to do for fun?
this is a hard one for me because everything I do, I see as fun.
Mm.
So I'm not my business, but I am the essence of how the business happened.
Yeah.
So I have constantly am challenging,
Mhm.
getting out from underneath that vicious cycle of thought of that. And I might watch a movie. I might climb a tree. I might walk barefoot in the grass. I mean, all those things lead me to more direct messages that come for my business, but they're fun and they're engaging for me
Yeah.
as
Mhm,
a
mhm.
human and a business owner.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'd say what I like to do for fun is probably the networking. I like to go out and talk to people, hang out, learn about new people. That is very recharging for me. Very recharging.
I think socialization in general, for me, whether it's with my kids, especially in the summer, we have the best summers in Wisconsin. There is
Mhm.
always something to do, and I take advantage of it all summer long. I'm not a fan of winter.
Sitting by the pool.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of winter, whether it's a park or it's the zoo, or there is so much around me that you will rarely find me home on the weekends when I'm not working, or in the evenings or whatever. You rarely find me just sitting there quiet. I'm socializing, doing something.
I think it's neat that the things that recharge us are actually activities
Yeah.
like that take energy.
That
So
take
it's like
energy,
that they
yeah.
take energy to put into it, but those are the things that recharge us. So for me, it's the work hard all day, come home, and then it's family time.
Yeah.
And I think about our schedule. We run 4 or 5 hours an evening just juggling the kids, and
Yeah.
it's nonstop, but it's so rewarding. And it's so fun, and you're like, tomorrow I'm going to do it again. The madness, I love the madness, but it's great.
That was a great question. Makes you think about all the fun things you want to do, whatever
I
it
know.
is.
I think you should all create a list of the fun things you like to do. So when you get bored and burnt out, go look
Yes.
at your list and then go do one of those
Yes.
things.
It's a great idea.
Definitely have that.
Great idea.
We do that for the summer with the kids and just ourselves. Like if you're not writing it down and then working towards it, we kind of, time goes by and we don't get to take full advantage of the things that we really want to do. So it's nice to map it out and go for
Yeah,
it.
definitely.
And so you don't forget what you want to do, getting lost with what you think you have to do.
Yeah, exactly. Well, with that, I think we are ready for our first special small business segment with Heike Heeman.
Welcome to another edition of Heike's LinkedIn Insights. I help entrepreneurs and career changers
Take their LinkedIn profiles from blah to magnetic. Today, let's go over some tips for your profile banner, that horizontal graphic at the very top of your profile. It should never be completely blank. LinkedIn offers you some templates which can give visitors to your profile an idea of what you're about or interested in. However, I personally think everyone should take that extra step of personalizing their banner. This may take some time, but you can also hire someone to do this for you. Now, when it comes to the banner, there are a couple of things that you want to include, such as some kind of reference to your expertise, contact information, because after all, you are there to make connections. If you have an event coming up, it's great to switch your banner out for an event that you have coming up. Let that be a webinar, something in person. You can also include a link so that somebody can take the next step towards contacting you. Again, that could be a link to an event registration, let's say to an Eventbrite, or a website link. Why is it important? This is free advertising. It is yet one more place for you to make a visual impression on your potential clients and other people that you might want to be in contact with. Let's say you want to, in addition to growing your business, also find a position on a board, or you want to be invited as a speaker somewhere, like here onto this show. You can use your banner to share what you want to be found for and how people can contact you. So it increases your know, like, and trust factor. So to summarize, remember to customize your LinkedIn profile banner. And if you need help, reach out and certainly connect with me on LinkedIn for more tips. See you next week.
Thank you, Heike, for the awesome tips on LinkedIn. Rios, did you say it Rios?
You got that perfectly.
All right, good.
First try.
All right. Born in Chicago and raised in Kenosha, he's a Midwesterner and a cheesehead. Do you wear one of those hats when you go to the...
I've been known to wear a hat a time or two, yes.
Through and through. For the last couple of decades, he has been fortunate enough to make his living on the creative side of advertising, promoting products and services to consumers and businesses alike. He went to a fancy schmancy advertising school in Atlanta. Those are his words, you guys. He has held the title of Executive Creative Director and has won his share of awards for client work he has done. Keith loves the creative process, no matter which side of it happens to find himself on.
As a business owner, Keith loves working hard and helping businesses find their unique voice. He believes in big ideas and the power they have to captivate attention, start conversations, and ultimately influence consumer behavior. When he's not at work, busying himself with brand building in all of its forms, he can be found slicing his drives at Milwaukee area golf courses, biking the Oak Leaf Trail, and doing many more fun activities. Way too many to include right now, but we are leading right into the question of the day, and Keith can tell us more about what he does for fun.
So welcome, Keith, to the show. Welcome.
Thank you. It's awesome to be here.
Yeah.
Super happy to have you. So we're going to go right into the question of the day. What do you do for fun when you're not at work?
Just about anything that I can.
Yeah.
In the outdoors. You in part of my bio there, you probably read my most favorite thing to do, which is to get out and golf. I've been doing it for over 30 years, but you wouldn't know that by looking at my game.
Hey, if you still find it fun, that's okay. It doesn't matter if you're good.
Right,
Yeah.
You have a great time doing it.
I have
so
a blast
it's fine.
every single time, and it's just really relaxing. Many people think it's frustrating trying to hit that little white ball and not going where you want it to or where you intend, but I find it to just be really relaxing and a great way to just enjoy nature.
I love it.
I'd imagine you spending a lot of time behind a computer during your workday.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, absolutely.
being outside in nature is
Like
the thing to do.
I pretty much suck at all sports, but we'll do just about anything outside. So, I mean, if I got to pick up a golf club to be outside, maybe I'll try, but I'm not even so good at mini golf. So we don't know. But,
Practice.
yeah, right. Exactly. So We know that you do a lot of marketing. I've done quite a bit of networking with you. How did you get into advertising, marketing, and design as a business?
Well, I was a designer, a graphic designer on the corporate side for years. I actually worked at the Tampa Tribune for a while as one of their in-house designers, is doing a lot of different types of employment ads and things for stories and things like that. And in that time of my life, I was being exposed to just advertising award books and annuals and things that I had never seen before, even after going through a design education. And I started really getting super excited about what I was seeing. And I was like, wow, not only do I think I can do that, I think I can do it well. And I sort of packed up, came back from Tampa to here to kind of regroup, and I ended up in Atlanta. At the Creative Circus. It's not a school for clowns, although there's a lot.
It's kind of
There's a lot of
circus,
clowning that happened there, but it's a 2-year portfolio school. It's an advertising boot camp of sorts for the creative side of advertising. So did that, and I picked up my skills as an art director and a copywriter and basically a strategist, and in those 2 years, and was recruited from there to work at an agency in Southern Indiana. And you fast forward about 10, 12 years later, I had an opportunity to do it for myself. And it was always, I think, a childhood dream to do that, maybe a little misguided childhood dream. But have been doing it now for the past 7 years. And yeah, I can say confidently that I'm loving it. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, it sounds like you really, really do enjoy it. You have a lot of creativity spark coming out of you. I can feel the energy.
Absolutely.
I love creativity, and I just love helping companies sell their products and services to their consumers in a way that's fun, meaningful, but most of all, just super creative and differentiating.
Yeah, yeah. So what are some of the types of companies or brands that you've worked with in the past?
In the past, as I'd like to say, in my previous life, when I was still employed by an ad agency, I worked on hospitals, anything from a 25-bed hospital, like in a rural community, to 300-bed hospitals, like those you'd see here at Freighter and St. Luke's. I worked on a variety of spirits. It's probably what I did most. Is worked on all sorts of fun stuff like tequilas and whiskeys and bourbons and rums and vodkas, from package design to full-blown ad campaigns all across the country to promote those brands. I worked on casinos, tobacco products, HVAC contractors. I've worked on,
all
yeah.
over. I
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah.
That's really, really expanding a portfolio like no
Yeah.
other, really.
Yeah.
So you've done these types of companies that you've worked with. What types of projects have you managed, been involved in, or produced beyond a normal scope of work, I guess?
I've literally done everything, as you might read in some employment ads that say from concept to completion. Well, that's literally what I've spent my entire advertising career doing, is transitioning from the graphic design world, which is really just very execution based. It's about, making things look attractive, and it's a specific thing, whether it's a poster or whether it's a business card or an ad or a flyer, a wedding invitation, and graduating to really being involved in the strategy that goes into promoting a product or a brand. Like how, for instance, did Snickers come up with the campaign to you're not yourself when you're hungry, right? There was a couple people sitting in an office, an art director and a writer, coming up with lots of ideas to try and how are we going to promote Snickers? And they came up with that truth, right? So it's that's the type of things that I've done, both on the concept side and where do these ideas get placed and purchased and implemented so that the public sees what you do. So TV, radio, outdoor, direct mail, email marketing, all of the mass media.
Really take them from beginning stage all the way through the entire process, which is great. It's not just, I designed your logo for you, bye.
Correct.
You can take the full the full process, which
Yeah.
is very, very cool.
Yeah, so that's the stuff that I've done in the past. But now, as a small business owner, working more with small businesses that don't necessarily have those budgets to place, millions of dollars of ads and media all across the country, I try and scale that back and work with, with where they're at in their sort of journey as a business.
But able to
Um,
see that big picture ahead of
pers-
them that they can't see.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So just try to help, strategically, and then work on any different number of media, whether it's email marketing, social marketing, website, either design or content, to help sort of boost their ratings and engagement, things like that.
Beautiful.
How long have you been self-employed then?
Bob and Weave was launched in 2016, in June of 2016. So yeah, 7 years. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's been 7 years, but I feel like I'm still sort of a very a
don't-
newborn in
I don't
my
know if that
entrepreneurial
ever
journey.
goes away. Does that ever go away?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm still in newborn stage. I started in 21, right? So yeah, 21.
Yeah, I started 8 years ago, and
Yeah.
I
Still feel
swear
like
some
an
days I just go, "What have I even done? I don't even know where I'm at anymore."
Yeah. Well, yeah, you're here and
Mhm.
you're moving forward. You've got
Yep.
the show among all the other things that you do. So yeah, it's exciting. The world of advertising and branding and design is really
Constantly,
exciting, and
and
it's
it's
always
changing.
fresh. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
always fresh. So it's great to work with a variety of clients on a variety of projects. Doing it, it just never gets stale. So that's why I love it.
Yeah. So what's one big tip that you would give a new business owner, speaking of baby feelings in businesses?
I believe there's so many things from an advertising and design perspective that can be shared and said. I think one of the things that I saw most in the past, working either with small businesses or working with friends who needed a favor, who just launched a startup, a lot of times I would encounter folks who, because their business is small, because their business has just begun, they think that their marketing and their advertising and how they look and how they present themselves should sort of mirror that. And the psychology behind that, that I, would get explained to me as well. I don't want, my people to think that I'm spending all this money on my marketing and all this stuff, and and they're paying for it and it's being passed on to them. So I just need simple stuff. And my advice would be just dress for the part, dress for the job that you want, and not the one that you have. And I know that's kind of a weird quote to pull into into that context.
I think it's great.
But I think young and small business owners need to just be comfortable with putting themselves out there, visually speaking, that is, with their brand, in a way that just where they own it. They own it, as opposed to just being a little timid, from the gates. Or a lot of times they're doing it DIY, so they don't have the skill sets to really do justice to their new brand. And so I would say, in that case, hire a pro to help you out.
Marketing is very, very, very scary for small business owners. So I think it's really important for everyone to look and recognize that there are other small business owners out there to help you. It's not every company is going to charge you $3,000 a month to run your marketing. There is definitely many, many options out there for everybody. And it's part of why we do what we do on this show, to really give people the knowledge. There are people like Keith, Tracy, Kim, soon coming Kristal. There are many of us out here, and we're all here to help you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think that's a great point.
Yeah. Wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for being on the show today. We do have a page. We were getting some background music. We do have a page on the website, theconnectshow.com/Keith Rios, if you'd like to connect with him. Do you have any offer or upcoming event that you'd like to share with our guests today?
No, none. Just thank you for whoever tuned in. We put it out there on social, and thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
It was a pleasure, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. So thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for coming on. And I think we are ready for our second special, I have to change the words on that, small business segment of the day with Charlene or Charlie Osterling.
Hello. I am here to talk about the evolution of change once again. We touched a little bit on this with the quote of the day. I'm going to play a good little word war again with Kim, or for Kim, I should say. I want to talk about emotions and indicators versus decision makers. So emotions are your superpower, and a lot of people don't allow themselves to feel. And when we bury all those things, they will eventually resurface, and probably not the way that is most beneficial to use in a positive direction. So if we can use emotions as indicators and we allow ourselves to feel, we can make a better decision. So the whole quote of the day with being scared, it's perfectly natural to be scared when you're doing something no one's done before, or you're recreating something that you think serves a bigger alignment with the purpose of what it was created for. So the ice cube tray and how it's open and it's hard to get out as the original ice cube tray. So someone came up with a silicone idea that allows you to pull the ice cube right out of it, or just squeeze it from the bottom and that solid piece of water or ice comes out and you can use it right away. So in business, it's all about honoring what you feel, and when things come up, using them to their greatest good. Or if fear comes up right out of the gate, ask yourself, why am I feeling fear when this is something that could be an evolution of change? It could literally revolutionize something for someone, including yourself. So don't downplay the idea by thinking, nobody would get into this, or I'm just scared it won't work out. You have to take the first step in trying. That's how you honor the emotion of fear and being scared, is you ask yourself, is this the truth? Or can this really be a solution beyond what's already invented? So your business goes along the same line. Be fearless, have courage, use the strength you were born with, and just go for it. The evolution to change.
I just love Charlene's word wars. Like, it brings it to me. Thank you so much, Charlene. It was great info. I appreciate it. Up next, we have our next guest, Kristal. Kristal began her career in the corporate world of direct mail in 2003. 3 years later, she shifted gears, and today she owns her own graphic design business, Kristal Clear Graphics, LLC. And that's Kristal with a K, by the way. Yeah. While she has gained much knowledge and experience and expanded her portfolio of great client projects along the way, some things never change. Top quality design and outstanding customer service have always been and always will be her most important company values.
Kristal Clear Graphics offers creative services for print, web, and beyond. Kristal enjoys helping companies build their professional image through her graphic design services, and having a consistent branded image throughout the company enables them to grow their business, gain more professional credibility, and increase their profits. Welcome to the show.
And Kristal also does our graphics, just so that you know, a little shout out. She's a volunteer for the show.
It's so fun.
She does our graphics.
It's so fun to be on this side.
Yes.
So,
We're
yeah.
so happy to have you. Thank you for coming. So referring back to the audience question, what do you do for fun outside of your business so that you can be recharged and ready to go when you decide to start working?
I love that question too. So I'm a mom of 3, and so I love anytime I get to hang out with my husband and my 3 kids. We just came back from a 10-day camping trip in the North Woods. And so that was awesome. We did tent camping, no electricity, but beach days every day. It was awesome. And then
10 days, no electricity. You go, girl.
yeah, well, lots of coolers and lots of ice and stuff. Yeah, but no, it's beautiful up there. And then we came home to go to the State Fair. So, and so it's just kind of go that summer.
Yes.
That like there's never a dull moment. I probably do too much with my kids, but
No such thing.
I agree.
But
No
it's
such
great.
thing.
It's great to hear that's the recharge.
Oh yeah, it is for me. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I love it. Mm-hmm.
Well, let's look at clients. So marketing, somebody doesn't like their current logo. What could help them? You know, what help would you give them to kind of give a refresh, something to be proud of, that they really want to put out in front of people? And I know that it does make a difference. Like, our brands are powerful, and us even going, if I'm not happy with my current logo, I'm not going to sell it at the capacity that I should sell it. I'm not going to stand behind it. So,
and even just that, like you're kind of insecure about it. So you maybe
Yeah.
are like, yeah, I know this is, I like you're apologizing for it
Yeah.
almost, and it doesn't give you that best foot forward sort of thing. Yeah. So, I mean, and sometimes I do make people's logos right from scratch, but a lot of
Mhm.
people are coming back with a refresh, like you said. And so I might just start from a blank page, like, you know, ask them questions like, what makes you unique from somebody else? You can have those, just ask those business centered questions, or maybe I'll go, what's your favorite color? You know, what do you like to do for fun?
Yeah.
Kind of thing. And, you know, it's just that brainstorming process that you might find some different keys that you can plug into. And you never know what angle you're going to go with when you get to talk to somebody that way. And it really makes them stand apart then.
I think the really cool thing about graphic design in that way is you're really getting the artist's vision. And when I'm talking graphic design, I'm talking people that are actually designing something like what you and Keith do. Not, I mean, I can go into Canva and make a logo, sure, but when you're actually getting that really super cool logo that defines your brand,
Yeah.
is so amazing.
It's very rewarding
Yes.
too when they just feel it. And people tell me too, like, well, I don't know about this and I don't know about that. And sometimes it's just subjective. Like you have to love it. And it's kind of a fun process to figure out how to read their mind. And just kind of see how it goes.
I'm not a
Mhm.
graphic designer, but I'm in marketing.
Mm.
And we do a lot of design, and it's neat to know how a designer can give us the visual to go help me see what I'm seeing in my mind, but I can't quite get it out there. A good graphic designer, and you seem to have it right there, that you listen to the clients and you give them something beyond what they expected, but within their scope of like, that's what I like. And
sometimes it's a process too. Like someone might give me some ideas and then I have this great idea and I give it to them and they're like, I hate it. And I'm like, oh, but then they're like, but now I know what I want. And sometimes they just don't have an idea where to start. They thought they did, but once they see it on paper, they can redirect. And then the next one's like a slam dunk. Like it's
Takes
really
a little
fun.
bit of thick skin at first to get that and wear that, but understand like you're not living in their head, right? And taking that as constructive criticism, like, well, now I know I can provide you exactly what I want. That's pretty powerful.
And it's so many times with my clients, it's a team building relationship too.
Yeah.
And I want to be kind of their personal graphic designer that they can't have on staff a lot of times, because I do work with the small to medium, but more times smaller startup businesses. And so it would be great if they could have an on staff designer,
Absolutely.
but I like to be there for them whenever they need to, but you know, they're not going to need something every single day of the week either. And so the quicker that we can communicate and, you know, be honest about those things, like that constructive criticism is so helpful for me to be able to make the next step with where they want to go.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
And it's probably hard for them to tell you too, like, I don't like it.
sometimes,
Yeah.
sometimes not.
Sometimes not, right. So what advice would you give to someone who's making their graphic design project, and like how would it run smoothly and attain that end result that you're really looking for and they're looking for?
Kind of two different directions. So I'll go back to that practical side of like that team building, because I have sometimes people, they give me a couple revisions and then it's done, and they don't like, or let me say, like they like the way it's going, but yet they don't give me enough feedback. And so it's finding that balance between someone who says, oh, I love it, and we haven't even done any revisions, with the person who has like someone else might think like, oh, you're nitpicking, and they apologize for nitpicking. And I'm like, no, it's okay. I mean, if you're over nitpicking, well, then yeah, you're just using up time. But it's finding that balance and that work along with the team kind of thing.
Super important.
I think that's one of the things that's great about, you get to know people, they get to know you, you get to know them, but really that communication. And for them to go really communicate as much as possible what your need is, because I'm trying to hit it. And the more you have, then you can go, I can take that and work with it.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's so rewarding when you get to that point and everyone's happy at the end. So, yeah.
Let's do a quick talk about artificial intelligence.
Oh.
That is a topic that's everywhere. How does that affect the world of design? and the future of graphic design and the industry, and how does that play a part in your business?
And it's so fast and coming. Whatever I say now, it'll be obsolete by tomorrow, right?
Right.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And so that's an interesting idea. And overall, like, I'm not nervous about it because I'm very much someone who just trusts in God and that He's going to take care of it all. Because what's going to happen to me? I'm not needed in a day or in a year or something like that. But in the more practical day-to-day life sort of thing, that's just the nature of being in technology. You have to go with the technology and the changes. So on one hand, I'll date myself because I started back in like 2006 and I learned how to make Flash websites, if you remember what those were and stuff. And then all of a sudden I'm like, it's not supporting Flash anymore. I'm like, what? Why did I go to school for that for? Like, those were fun. But anyway, so you have to go with that. And then, so I mean, on one hand, it's the technology that's changing and you just kind of roll with it. We're all being educated constantly in one way or another, whether we're going back to school or whether it's just on the job experience and educating yourself. But on the other hand, I kind of go back to the artificial intelligence when it's artificial. You need that relationship with the person.
Personal experience.
The AI is not going to get to know you. They're not going to get to know what your favorite, like who your pet is, or like that's going to inspire me to make your logo really unique. It's just going to be, taking ideas from, like you said, I could go on Canva. Well, that's what AI is going to be because it doesn't know you.
Exactly.
And so that's, again, why my business is focused on relationships and, we're a team. And so I'm not scared.
Ultimately, I can see that thriving for you. I mean, I'm not really, AI does affect my work, but just like you said, that relationship and that one-on-one, you're never going to get that with AI. I have tried different graphics just for a blog post, having some AI create it, and generally it looks like garbage. So it's getting there and it will be perfected, I'm sure, but it's never going to replace the personal experience and the one-on-one relationship.
You can't get rid of good people. And every business needs good people, good partners that can say, I'm looking out for your interest, trying to help you achieve more.
So what's one tip you could give that would help other small business owners right now?
I'm going to go for the practical side because I touch all different areas from logos and brochures to websites. So I'm going to go for a website tip, if that's okay.
Absolutely.
So a lot of times people come to me and they're like, I need a website. And we go back to branding and marketing, like, oh, wait, first let's tackle the logo. So many people are just ready to jump into a website and they haven't thought of all the pieces. So my tip is this. When you're building your website and you have all the other branding inside, don't forget about a call to action. So many times it's easy to forget, but just put on there like a way to subscribe to whatever is important to you. Do you have a blog? Do you have a newsletter? Do you some way to build a database? Just offering them some sort of incentive. Maybe it's a percentage off of your services, or maybe it's like an information sheet that is really essential to them. It doesn't have to cost you anything necessarily, but that call to action to start building your community a little bit more. It's a great way to just put on your homepage so everybody can see it, and then you start building more connections.
That's a great tip.
Yeah.
Call to action.
Call to action. Yep.
Kristal, what is your favorite part about your work? I love asking that question. I figured I'd throw it in here. Just your favorite part about what you do.
I like the variety.
Yeah.
There's never a job that's unless I have a repeating client, when it's like the same with that. It's just, I've worked on things from magazines to expo show signs to food labels to musician CD labels. Like there's always just something new and exciting to just try something. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. If you need a great graphic designer who's going to look out for your interests, give Kristal a call. Kristal, do you have any specials or offers for the audience or an upcoming event that you want to mention?
I don't have any events, but I think I seem to have people calling me just for advice sometimes. So I'll just put that out. If anyone has just a general graphic design question, I have people calling like, oh, do you take interns? And I'm like, I'm just by myself. So no, not really just yet. Or just kind of, I had a college student call me to interview me for their project. I was like, oh, this is fun. So yeah, I just kind of welcome if anyone just needs some advice, give me a call. No problem.
I think that's where
Yeah.
all the projects start, just talking.
Yeah.
And just
yeah,
go,
gives
how
people
can we
ideas.
help each other?
Mhm,
Yeah.
Exactly.
So you can also connect with Kristal at theconnectshow.com, Kristal /Kristal Young, and that's with a K and an I in Kristal, Kristal Young. So check that out and connect with Kristal.
Well,
So thank you.
Thank
Thank you for being on the show.
Yay.
I love today's show, and I will talk just very briefly. It's really interesting to have watched how this all came about. Kristal and Keith met at my Business Over Breakfast networking event that I host twice a month, and we were talking about the Connect show, and they were like, "Well, I think I'd like to be on that." And then they had a conversation about collaborating. Anybody that knows me knows my hashtag collaboration, not competition. And this was a few months ago. And I just absolutely love watching two people that work in very similar industries, maybe do life a little bit different, figured out a way to collaborate, bring themselves together on the show. It was great.
Absolutely.
It was absolutely great. And it's a power of networking, if you ask me. Tracy also very much believes in networking. She's back behind the scenes now, but the changing industry, and I have had conversations with Keith about AI as well, and you just got to shift. So it's really, really cool, and I'm happy to have been a part of it today.
Yeah,
So,
it's just neat to see how when you come together and you really know people and you understand, you can go, that's going to be the trusted partner for me to help take my idea in business to the next level. And it's just neat to know how many people want to see other people's goals successful.
Yeah.
And go, tell us what you're trying to achieve. We're here to help you.
Yes.
say it with me: collaboration, not competition. Right? So with that, Heike, who do we have next week?
Well, next week, we will be featuring Cody Konhartowski and Catherine or Kat Ramirez. So Cody helps small businesses scale by eliminating personal liabilities. How? By helping entrepreneurs to obtain business credit without a personal guarantee or credit check. This sounds like information that could be useful for a lot of small businesses that need funding. Do you know someone who should tune in to hear about this? Share the show info with them. Catherine, or Kat, trains businesses to succeed in anything from marketing and lead generation to business development and sales. From my own experience as a business coach, I know that business development, as in finding those clients and then actually selling to them, are among the hardest things to do for most entrepreneurs unless they come out of a sales background. No matter if that is graphic design or web design or any other service, the selling part is often the hardest for a new entrepreneur. It sounds like tuning in next week could help you pick up some tips on how to move your business forward. So I hope you will join us live so you can ask questions of these two experts. On a different note, we have a shout out today, which Kim already made, and that is that Kristal is doing the graphic design for the show. So thanks again, Kristal. And thanks to all the volunteers that help on the show. And keep watching. We'll be showing everyone's names as this show scrolls to an end.
Thank you also for joining us on our show today.
And watching, please help our community grow by reaching out and inviting one person who you feel will benefit from being a part of our journey. Please like and subscribe. If you are on social, this little act goes a long way in our reach. And if you like something you saw, please comment. We will see you soon.
Are we live here?
Ooh.